Right, well, thank you guys for joining us here. The First Musketeer, it's a web series, 6 parts, 10 minutes each. Very easy watch, very quick online, and basically it's a prequel story to the 3 Musketeers. So it's the young Athos, Porthos, and Aramis before they meet D'Artagnan. So it's set about 6 years before the original books were written. And here today we have, well, myself, Harriet Sams, I'm writer-director, Ryan Spong, he plays Aramis, and Edward Mitchell, who plays Athos. So I guess the first thing we should do really is just play you the teaser trailer so you have a genuine idea of kind of what it's about.
Forgive me, my lady. I thought you were someone else.
Forget this. Someone. Before she gets into real trouble.
Is there anything you need to talk about?
No.
So you let a dangerous assassin escape because you're drunk.
Who do you think you are, old man? Telling me how I should be?
Do you know why men like you always fail? Because men like you have nothing to believe in.
Sometimes a drink is all that stands between greatness and destruction.
There we go, First Musketeer teaser trailer. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you might have gotten the idea from that. It's kind of just high concept. Just went out to the south of France for about 3 weeks, a couple of years ago now. Filmed it, and I mean, obviously, we're a low budget production. We had about £25,000 as the budget, and pretty much it was achieved through the kind of volunteering of all of our lovely crew and cast, who are all kind of professionals from the industry, and to be honest with you, I just sold it to them all as being an adventure to go out to France for.
She sold it very well.
Yeah, very good. I'd do really well if I was an estate agent. Yeah, so, but you know, we had a lot of fun. I mean, you guys, Ed plays Athos. Athos is kind of the main character in the series. It sort of follows him most closely, and Aramis is introduced towards the end, as is accurate to the books that were written. But I mean, from your perspective of being out in France for pretty much all day, every day, with your face on the screen the whole time, how was that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really, really good fun. It was knackering. We did, most of our shoots were, I think about, am I right in saying 80% of it was like set at night?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So essentially the days consisted of getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, having breakfast, and then going and driving to set for an hour, filming till sometimes, like, I think the latest one we filmed to was 9 in the morning, and then going home, having of tea and going to bed. So it was absolutely, like, it was knackering, but it was really, really good fun, and I think it was quite a sense of community. Like, everyone felt like we were really up against it in terms of time frames and all that sort of stuff, and what we had to get done. So it kind of was a really, really good bonding experience, but it was, yeah, shattering, really tiring. I think the crew had it worse than us as well, because the thing is, we'd finish and the actors get to go home and we're like, oh, I'm going to take my costume off and go to bed now. But the crew had to, like, go through rushes and data storage and sometimes prep things for the next day, like costume and hair and bits and bobs and stuff. So they had it a lot worse than us. So.
Just packing stuff away.
Yeah.
Getting it out, packing it away, all day, every day. Thank you so much, Neil. So Neil, who's kindly being our AV operator, was the DOP. So camera operator, director of photography, anything to do, gaffer, anything to do with anything really. Yeah, we had like 5 crew members pretty much. With, like, if you like, as in the main kind of, yeah. Obviously, we have our we had a set dresser who had an assistant. We had kind of the kind of more art department-y based people, but for the main shooting crew, it was 5 or 6 people most of the time. When people hadn't had to go off for another job to come back again later and all this kind of pieces. So yeah, they had a very, very difficult job. And then Ryan, yours is interesting because you had 2 days shooting, was it? Or
yeah. So obviously everyone else has already been out there for about for about 3 weeks, and I turned up in the last week, and obviously that could be quite scary coming to work whilst everyone else has already been working for 3 weeks, hanging out, getting to know each other. But the good thing about working on this is we were all good friends before we went out to shoot. Hi. Before we went out to shoot, we had social, get-togethers. We went out for a few drinks. We had a few training sessions where we'd learn how to fight with swords. So we all knew each other really well. So that made it a lot easier for me, because if I didn't know them, then it would be very scary just sort of going out for the last week. But luckily, it was okay, and we all had a big hug. and it was great. It was good to see everyone. It was good to finally get out there, because I was a bit jealous that everyone else was out there without me.
Yeah, but
he was jealous that we were out, and then he got out there and basically did like a day's filming, and then just was like canoeing, going drinking wine.
Yeah, well, I was in France, so I thought I might as well drink as much wine as possible, and cheese. I was eating a lot of cheese, and you have to have wine with cheese.
You weren't a big red wine drinker before that, were you?
I wasn't. Now I am. I love it. There was this nice little river just down the road from where we were staying, and I was out there for 9 days, I think, and I was only shooting for 1 day, so I had 8 days just a sort of adventure.
Yeah, well, one of our actors, Jessica Preddy, who plays Milady de Winter,
/
Anne, which is her original name, we think. Alexandra Dumas has got quite a lot of mystery surrounding this character, so she was really good to kind of expand on. But she, because she had a few bits to shoot, but I knew her scenes would have to be spread out as far as the schedule was concerned, and so I did have a chat with her before going out. I said, Jess, do you want to keep flying back out? Because obviously we don't have much money, we can't keep flying people in and out. And she's like, no, I'll just stay. So she almost for the entire duration just came and hung out in France, and then here and there she would do a day. And
like, if you have the opportunity to go to France.
So we shot mainly around the Dordogne and the Lot, so it's sort of middle of the south, really, very beautiful. Yeah.
Go on,
but yeah,
is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying, if you have the opportunity to go to France, then in Jess's situation, of course, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
Because it's really beautiful down there. It's nice and sunny as well. So although we were,
well,
working,
you say it was sunny.
When I got there, it was sunny.
We had about 2 days of sun. We were promised as part of the deal, like, it's going to be great, like, it's going to be so hot, it's in October, like, it's still warm, blah, blah, blah. We got there. The first day it was baking, and you're like, yeah, this is going to be so sweet for like 3-4 weeks, just hanging out, having a great time. From that point on, apart from 1 day, it heaved. Well, I wouldn't say heaved. It was cold. We had...
No, I would like to just say that I'm not 100% sure if it was nice during the day, because we were asleep for most of the day. It was very cold at night.
The days that we were filming, we were in this barn. We did this tavern. We used there was a local vineyard, and they let us use one of their old barns as a filming location, and we were sat there. And it was so cold, we had to have hot water bottles and like little glove warmers. So it was not quite what we'd pictured, but yeah, you were busy on the canoe.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, it was...
Cool. So what I think I'll do is I'll play another clip, and then if anybody has any questions, you can just fire ahead. So Neil, would you mind playing the video that says Lewin Fights? They're in the toolbar down the bottom. And you may have to drag it across to the wonderful projected screen here.
Gentlemen, I owe you my life.
Yep, so that's one of our kind of fight set pieces that we have. Now, obviously, you're on low budget. You are quite limited as far as equipment is concerned. So I think Neil and the camera team did a really amazing job because it was pretty much, our choice was static or shoulder. As far as the shots, we didn't have any cranes. We didn't have. Well, I mean, we kind of had a dolly track made out of some plastic piping, but I mean, in general, it worked really, really well. It was used in that scene, in fact, for one of the shots. But yeah, I think obviously it's in Hollywood you've got action scenes, you've got these ditches, you've got gyrocopters, you can swing stuff everywhere and kind of make it look like James Bond, whereas we had to try and get very creative with making sure that we got it.
I remember what we did in this scene actually. We just set up that wide shot. We were all ready to go, and then suddenly the lights came on, the automatic spotlights on this building. So we ran around for ages trying to find a switch and then turn it off. We couldn't. So in the end, I had to put orange gels over and get crew members to stand there and just do this over the lights and make it look like fire.
Was that before or after we blew out the electricity to the entire castle and had to try and find someone at 5 in the morning to try and give us electricity? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were really supportive. All the kind of French authorities and the people we worked with all gave the locations for free and stuff, and they were really nice actually, but they did sort of leave us to it. Like this particular castle we shot a lot in called the Chateau de Bonnegil. They just gave us the keys to the front gate after a while, because we were just like, can we come back again? We need to do a pickup shot, we need to do this, and they were just like, yeah, keys, bye. So we would just go in and out of this castle at like 2 in the morning, just randomly film. So like the people we worked with are really good, but this particular location, it's actually kind of like a town hall for them, so like no one lives in it, and yeah, they just left us to it. But that did mean, unfortunately, that when I think it was not too long into shooting one night, about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, the whole castle, we shorted the power to the castle. We were like, oh God, who knows where the flip switch is? I don't know where the trip. Like, how do we solve this? So
things to remember for next time: ask where all the flip switches are.
Yeah, where is the trip? Where is the trip for this particular castle?
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Bye bye now. Yeah. So I mean, does anyone have any questions at all as far as what you've seen? Hi.
So a few technical questions.
Hang on.
Oh, we've got a mic for our.
Shall I just speak up really loudly?
Have a mic.
Okay, thank you. So a few technical questions on this sequence we just saw. There was a sort of overhead shot down on the lawn. So was that from a castle window?
That was from. They had a balcony.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So those stairs, in fact, lead to a kind of plateau in front of it. So we literally just set up a camera on a tripod on some plastic. Yeah, there we go. Up there.
Oh, okay. So and did you film all this in sequence with multiple cameras, or did people have to run around and say, get back to the position you were 10 minutes ago, we're going to do that again but with the camera over here now?
Yeah, I really wish we had one camera. We had one camera, one tripod. I'm sorry, Neil.
I have to say that the continuity all looked dead on to me. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is as well is that, we're trying to work out how not to cross a line, when we're on about 4 hours sleep at 3 in the morning as well. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how we did it. I think it's a miracle to all of us, in all honesty, that we got it together. But everybody, I mean, I literally would get to 5 in the morning and we'd have been filming for 9 hours, and I'd go up to Neil and I'd be like, Neil, I think I just have to rewrite the scene. I think we just cut out these shots. I'll make it work in post. Fix it in post. And they'd be like, no, we'll just get it done. And I'd be like, you sure? And he'd be like, take a vote. And everyone would be like, no, we'll get it done. We'll get the shot done. Because there's no point if we can't have a finished product. So, you know, I mean, seriously, they just worked their socks off to get it done, and yeah, it was a miraculous shoot, and we're all now very good friends.
So before you began shooting this sequence, did you have a sort of shot-by-shot breakdown that said, now we'll have a few seconds from the balcony and we'll see these people doing these things? And
so I started with pretty much a plan for every scene. I mean, the fights were a bit more fluid for me because the fight choreographer that we worked with was obviously limited with the time, and we couldn't ever get everybody all together at once. So we'd rehearse little bits of it, but seeing it in the grand scope and on location was impossible. So I kind of had a general idea of what I'd want to capture, but the trouble is the plan I had before we started shooting pretty much got thrown out of the window every time we turned up, because something would happen. Like this location was a little bit cursed, because this same location we turned up one day for the afternoon to shoot the evening, and this wedding party turned up because it's a public property, so people can just go there. So this entire 120 strong wedding party turned up to have their photos taken, and we're all sort of stood there with our equipment we kind of need to start shooting, and there's a bride on our set, and we just had to wait for them to leave, which means that I then have to kind of go and sort of rewrite the scene and shorten it and be like, right, we need to cut this shot, let's not get this wide, let's not bother pushing in close, and you just get what you can.
The thing, I think, specifically relating to the fight scenes in terms of time and things like that, it's like, you know, you see like Bourne Ultimatum and all these kind of films, and you've got sort of a wider shot of fighting, and then you're sort of in a medium shot, and then you've got extreme close-ups of it hits landing and all this kind of stuff. Because we were on such a tight schedule, we were already having to cut stuff, we didn't have the benefit of being able to go, okay, now this would be a really cool bit to zoom in on the sword landing here and have to re-rig the lights just for that split-second shot and stuff. So it was essentially a case of finding what angles and what shots best tell the narrative of that fight, filming them, maybe getting another angle on it, and then being like, well, we've got to do what we can. So I think we've done pretty well with what we had with the fights, but obviously given more time, I mean, you can just make them so elaborate. So it was this constant thing of balancing, trying to keep the quality and keep the pace of them, and keep people interested and not make it look naff. But at the same time,
as well, because they were
safe, yeah, and not. But then again, not wasting important time for shooting other stuff further down the line, so it was a tricky balancing act.
Yeah, because I mean, we were shooting scenes that a normal production would take 4 days to do in 8 hours. So it is the difference between low budget and big budget, is they have the time. Money buys time as opposed to anything else, really. Yeah, so but we're really happy considering what we've got, and we hope that we can kind of go on with some money next time and really see what we can do. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to play another clip. Does anybody have any other questions before I go on to the next? No? Cool, all right, so if we move on to the Athos and Marion. This is one of our more talky scenes.
Forgive me, my lady. I thought you were someone else.
You must dislike this someone greatly, my lord. For I'll have the bruises tomorrow to prove it.
You cannot imagine how badly I feel. Please tell me what I can do to redeem myself.
You need do nothing, sir. I'm well. But perhaps you might take some advice.
With pleasure, my lady.
Forget this someone before she gets into real trouble.
Yep, so that was one of our lovely actresses, Nicole O'Neill / Jessica Preddy, because the idea is that, I don't know how many of you know the story that well of the Three Musketeers, but Athos thinks he's killed his wife, who he finds out has actually been deceiving him. It's very dramatic. I don't want to give too much away, just in case any of you want to read the books, but he basically leaves his home. He's very rich. He's actually a count. He leaves his home, leaves his old life behind, changes his name, and basically drinks his way into kind of a stupor to try and forget the woman he fell in love with. And he meets this courtesan called Marion Delorme, who looks kind of similar to his previous wife, and it's just the flashes keep coming to him and the reminder, and she turns out to be integral to the story as well. She's one of our villainesses.
I must say at this point, Marion Delorme was an actual historical character. So Dumas, if you don't know, if you do, forgive me if I'm teaching to suck eggs, but so what he did was he was quite good at weaving historical events into the fictional world of the books, and something Harriet's managed to do really well is take actual events from the time period, very turbulent time in French history, so it's like ripe for finding good conflict and stuff, and she's sort of woven it in with, again, the fake characters on, you know, the narrative, and so it's kind of a mixture, again, like the Duc de Luynes was a real character, so we're kind of mixing fact with fiction. So if that period in history particularly interests you, then there we go.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess any last funny stories you guys have got from Ming before I wrap up? I mean, so much happened. There was one day where the French press came to a particular magazine came to come and do an interview, and I sat down with him at the table and I started talking, and I was like, oh yes, and you can meet the two leads, or Athos and Milady, and he said, oh great, can we get a picture of them in costume? So they head upstairs to go and get their costumes on, and they're really good friends by now, and apparently, they didn't tell me this, they kept this very secret from me, but apparently they decided to do like a Dirty Dancing move when she was in her dress, which is this huge floor-length white ball gown.
Took ages
with a corset
to make.
Yeah.
It took ages, and we were just upstairs mucking around. I don't know, why do you do these stupid things? I don't know. They were mucking around like, being twats, because it was, you know, they got no time off, so you're just like making the most of it. And we're like, yeah, Dirty Dancing, this is going to be a good idea. So we did it in our costume, and as I picked Jess up and I went, we just had this, and the whole back of the dress just popped open, because the corsets are so tight, and we just kind of put her down and just froze, staring at each other like, oh my god, because everyone's at breaking point. You're just thinking, Harriet is going to kill us. So we ran to to Jess, who was our head of costume, and we were like, please don't tell anyone, but we think we've broken the dress. But she was so cool and so calm. She's like, she's Spanish, I can't do the accent. She's like, just give it to me. She just took it off, sewed her, and it's like, great. So we were downstairs like, everything's fine here, no problems whatsoever.
Meanwhile, I'm downstairs like, they're taking a long time to get their costume on. I feel, and I'm like to them, don't worry, they'll be down any minute now.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Sauntered down like nothing had happened.
A dress sewn up.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything? Because you went off and kayaked on your own one day, but anything funny happened when we were filming your one scene?
Not that I can remember. I can't remember any funny stories from set, because obviously I was working one day. But I was watching an interview with Chris Pratt recently on TV, and obviously he's in the new Jurassic World movie. And he was saying how
Are you just telling a Chris Pratt anecdote?
Well, he's funny, so if I repeat him... No, he was basically saying that obviously he was a big fan of Jurassic Park as a kid, and it just feels so amazing to be part of, you know, that world. And obviously for us, you know, the Three Musketeers is such a massive story. It's awesome. Everyone loves it. And as a kid, you know, you play with sticks and pretend they're swords. So even though this isn't quite Jurassic World, you know, the production budget was quite a bit less, but nevertheless, it was an amazing experience, and it's just like such an honor to be part of the Musketeer world. So I just wanted to add that in, because I'm finally a Musketeer.
Yay!
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, for us, it's just really important that we can get the word out online. That's our platform, where it's on YouTube for free. You don't have to pay to watch it. So, you know, feel free, have a watch. It's fun. It's very easy watching it. It goes by very quickly. And if you guys are happy to share it on your Facebooks and Twitters and things, that
Tumblr.
really, Tumblr, yeah.
Instagram.
Anything. We're on every
Everything.
platform. It really makes a massive difference. If you just tell some of your friends to watch it, and then they tell some of their friends to watch it, that's what helps people like us do what we love, and hopefully share what other people enjoy. 'Cause,
Also, just to add on to that, all 6 episodes are out, because what a lot of people are doing is watching the first episode and being like, I can't wait for the second one. And you're like, no, just click the playlist next to it, and there's more. Like, that's it. So there's all 6.
Yeah,
and
all
it
6
really,
online.
really gets going from episode 3. So,
Yeah.
so make sure you stick around. It's
It's like the
hot.
first bit of a movie that you're getting into. That's the first couple of episodes. So I swear, keep watching, and you'll get to see all the really cool fight scenes and stuff. But yeah, no, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
for
cool.
coming
Cheers,
to our panel.
guys.
And yeah, if you've got any other questions, come and have a chat afterwards.